Hi everyone, welcome to today's last episode of TastyVenture.
So today is the last day that I'm here in Malaysia and I'm having breakfast with my family for the last time. The place where I hate most, which is the airport, because my family is gonna drown and pretty soon with our tears. Trust me. Never fail. Let me show you my robot. Hi robot! This is where the tears are gonna start flooding out. I've already cried in the toilet. So yeah, second round, mate.
As promised, I'll be showing you one of my signature dish, and this is what we Malaysians call Nasi Lemak. This is our staple food. We have this for breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper. I remember one time when I was walking to school, my mom just packed a nice triangle kind of Nasi Lemak, and I'll just hold it like a cone and then just eat it on the way to school. Pretty cool. So anyways, these are the ingredients that you'll be needing. First of all is some dried anchovies, some roasted peanuts. This one is a must-have, which is Mak Tok signature chili paste. This will save you at least a minimum of an hour to 2. Then you'll need some cucumber, some eggs. I'm using some jasmine fragrant rice. You can try using basmati or even sushi rice. It just wouldn't taste the same because they don't have that nice fragrance that jasmine rice has got. Then after that, you'll need some coconut cream. Now this is different as compared to coconut milk because coconut cream is a lot thicker and it's got more rich coconut flavors in there. If you can't get hold of coconut cream, you can still use coconut milk, but you'll have to reduce the amount of water that you'll be using to cook your rice. Then of course you need some water to cook the rice. For seasoning, I'm using some salt over here as well as some sugar. Then comes to all the spices. You'll need garlic, ginger, but I'm using some garlic powder, some ginger powder as well as white pepper over here. Now the secret to making a beautiful Nasi Lemak that smells amazing is pandan. I can't get hold of pandan because they ran out of it in the stores today. So what I have in my kitchen is some pandan powder. So let's get started now. The first thing I want to do is boil the eggs. Alright, now that my eggs are done, I'm gonna just set this aside and I'm gonna peel them up later. Let's move on to the next part, which is the anchovies. You're just gonna wash them, rinse off all the dirt. Now, when I'm making anchovies, I usually use a smaller pot only because it's easier to manage than the big ones. Prepare a plate for our anchovies. I am gonna line them up with some kitchen rolls just to absorb the excess oil. Add enough oil to the pan. Now, how do you know the oil is actually ready? So I'll usually take the smaller piece and then just slowly, gently dip it in. And if it starts bubbling like this, then you know your oil is ready. Okay, now that our anchovies are all done, now what do you do with the extra oil over here? Don't throw it away because this oil are like anchovies infused oil. So what you can do with this is actually try frying it with some egg. When you're making like fried rice, yeah, use this oil because you'll create a lovely nasi goreng. Yes, I'm just gonna strain this oil and then keep it aside. Just gonna pop this aside for it to cool down before you store into an airtight container, because you don't want any water vapor to be in there and then it turns the anchovy soggy. As you know, I love using roasted peanuts. A lot of the supermarkets out there sell like salted roasted peanuts. It's okay. So this is what I normally do. I get a whole pack of salted ones and then just put it on a strainer and then just shake off all the excess salt to it and then just give it a brush like that, and then that's it, and you've got like a nice roasted peanut. Now for the jasmine rice, you'll need to soak them for about 15 minutes before you start cooking them. What you have to do as well is to rinse the rice at least 4 to 5 times. This is to get the dirt as well as the starch away so that your rice don't turn out too sticky. While it's soaking over here, I'm gonna prepare the cucumber. Now that this is done, let's start peeling the eggs. Now let's slice the eggs to half. Beautiful there. Let me just show you my secret weapon at home. Now I've got different types of rice cooker. Let me just show you two. I've got the mini individual portion one and the party one. Let's cook the rice now. I'm using a saucepan only because this is a conventional method here in the UK. We're gonna pour this in, the rice and the water that we soaked it with. By the way, I normally don't measure my how I cook my rice, like the water ratio and things like that, because we Malaysians have a way on how we do this. It's by using our finger. By putting it in, ouch, it's pretty hot now. So water about this height, rice about this height, then it's probably enough to create a perfect rice. And you know what? Every time if I make a perfect rice out of it, I can hear my ancestors saying, well done, Will. Let's bring it to a boil. Let's throw in a mixture of white pepper, garlic powder, and ginger powder over here. Now I like to use powders is because they save me a lot of time by peeling and using the fresh ingredients. And they sort of taste the same, so let's put this in. We'll add some salt and a bit of sugar. Then to our secret ingredient, pandan powder. Smell like a grassier kind of vanilla. I'm using about 1/4 teaspoon of pandan powder. Next thing that you will have to add is some oil because I want my rice to shine. I'm gonna just give it a good stir. So now the rice is boiling. I'm gonna turn down the heat to low and then just cover it and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Now it's 3/4 done. I'm gonna add in the coconut cream. Once you've added the coconut cream in, just leave it closed for about a minute or two and then just turn off the heat. Move this aside. Okay, now let's start plating our Nasi Lemak. Now because I don't have a smaller bowl, I'm just going to use my mini mortar here to make a nice bowl for my rice. Well, look at the amazing rice over here. Plate on top, make sure it's in the middle. Look at how beautiful it is. We'll be adding the condiments. Let's start with the cucumber, eggs, peanuts, followed by the anchovies. Last but not least, let's add our signature chili mix. Let's start eating our delicious Nasi Lemak. Thing is, to have it traditionally, you don't use spoon or fork. Your hands. Make sure you wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. How I normally eat them is I like to mix them all up together. Come closer. All the way, push it in the middle. In. There we go. Then, I'm gonna mix everything together. Always remember like a bird kind of shape. Just take a bit of it over here and you're gonna use your thumb right here to push. Grab it this way. Okay? Then you're gonna push it in. Ready? No wonder my mom said mine is better than hers. This is so good. I've lost words to describe it. It's just so good. Like the peanuts gives it a nice nutty taste, and then it blends so well with the anchovy savouriness, and the chili paste just gives it a nice kick at the end. Now I personally like it to be slightly hotter, so I'll normally add some fire chili paste on it as well. Just mix it. If you don't find this eating method cool, just use normal spoon and fork. It's fine as well. It's just, this is how I grew up with eating Nasi Lemak, and it's just that authentic feel makes this dish so much more special to me. Oh my god, this is so good. How I wish they serve this in pubs, in school canteens, anywhere. Alright, so thank you so very much for tuning in to my entire TastyVenture series. If you want to talk to me, just leave a comment down below. Tell me what is it that you find it nice, what is it that you think I could improve more, and anything. Share with me any dish that you've made. Remember to try out this really delicious Nasi Lemak. It's one of my favorite dish, and I normally don't share this recipe out. Subscribe, like, and share our videos. Until next time, ta-ra!